Hey guys, Arena Stories here, and I'm going to be showing you how you can beat every class in Cata as a sub-rogue. First off, we have a warlock, guys. We're going to open with a garrote into a hemorrhage. We're going to kick the pet's charm. We are going to come back in, rupture, and spam hemorrhage. We are instantly going to vanish here, guys, the second the garrote silence is off to get a clean getaway. We are going to come back in, shadow step into a cheap shot, into a shadow dance, cloaks of shadows immediately, guys, to avoid the death coil and pet charm. He is going to trinket that, instant kidney shot. We are going to spam backstab here. He is going to teleport. We are going to drop a smoke bomb in order to get away. We are going to pop recuperation to heal and regain energy. We are going to vanish here, come back in with a shadow step, garrote into a hemorrhage and bleed. You mainly want to keep up the bleed, guys, because it does an insane amount of damage and he will go down. And I'll be showing you guys another example of a warlock. We are going to open up with a garrote into a hemorrhage. Now, I was a bit late here with the pet kick, but it is completely fine. We are going to trinket this, instantly cloaks of shadows into a rupture, shadow dance into 2 ambushes. We are going to go in for an eviscerate. He is going to go for a death coil. It is completely fine, guys. We are going to vanish here, shadow step into a garrote in order to apply the bleeds again. We want to apply that hemorrhage and rupture again. We are going to vanish for a second time, come back in with an ambush and an eviscerate, and he will go down. Now, I'll be showing you guys one last example. Now, the reason I am showing you multiple examples, guys, is because each scenario is different, but the openers are the same, and I want you guys to get comfortable with it. We're going to come back in, start with a premeditation to gain 2 combo points, open up with a garrote as always, into a hemorrhage, into a rupture. We are going to shadow dance here. I should have popped cloaks of shadows because the pet will use charm on me. We will have to trinket this guy since we used our burst. Instantly pop cloaks of shadows, go in for an ambush. He will teleport. We're going for a full kidney shot here into another ambush. He will trinket this, guys. We are going to spam hemorrhage. We are instantly going to vanish, use recuperation in order to regain our energy. We are waiting for our energy tick to come back. Now that it has come back, we are going to shadow step into an ambush. We are going to try and kick the pet seduction. Sadly, we are too late, but it is completely fine. He is already at 20% HP, and we are just going to blind him here in order to gain some distance, pop smoke in order not to get charmed again, gain a re-stealth, go for a cheap shot into rupture and a hemorrhage, and he will go down here with the backstab. Next up, guys, we have frost mages. We're going to start off with a sap. We're going to open up with a premeditation into a rupture. He is going to use his pet's frost nova to freeze us. We are instantly going to cloaks of shadows this. Now, we are not popping shadow dance immediately here, guys, because we want to save that for our main burst. We mainly want to take down that shield while we have cloaks of shadows up. He will be reluctant to use ice block here since we are not using our burst, but we are dealing an adequate amount of damage. We are going to vanish, instantly shadow step into an ambush. He will decide to ice block this. We are going to pop smoke here in order not to get stunned, and he will not come near us since I do have a blind ready. We are just waiting for an opener and for our energy to regain. Now he will try to gain distance here. We still have smoke. We are going to sprint into a full kidney shot, and we will use shadow dance. He will trinket the kidney shot. We are going to go in for a cheap shot to gain control into an ambush. Now he is in real trouble, guys. He cannot ice block for another few seconds. We are going to pop another smoke here. Now the main thing we want to do here, guys, is keep on adding pressure and not let up. We do not want him to recover. We have to keep up with his pace in order for him not to heal. We will trinket his stun. Now, that is the only thing I recommend you guys trinket when you are fighting a frost mage. If you do trinket his polymorph or anything else, it is an instant loss, guys, because he will gain control and will be able to heal. Now, the next example I'm going to be showing you guys is a fire mage. We're going to come in, start with a premeditation, into a garrote, into a hemorrhage, and an eviscerate. Again, we just want to break that shield, guys. We did not pop cloaks of shadows here, bear in mind. We want to save that for when the garrote silence is over. We are going to pop shadow dance and cloaks of shadows. He is going to miss his dragon's breath. We are going to spam ambush here. He will ice block this, guys. If he already did ice block this, it's pretty much GG. If he did block this early, we are going to go for a blind here. He will trinket that. He will frost nova. I will vanish this. Go in for an ambush. He's going to try and gain some distance. He will go for a polymorph. I will instantly smoke bomb here, guys, and pop recuperation. I will shadow step and use shiv on him for crippling poison into an eviscerate. We are going to trinket his stun. He will try to go for a polymorph. I will kick that. He is going to summon his images. We still have vanish and a smoke left. Come back in. And one main thing I wanted to point out, guys, is always keep your recuperation up. It heals a lot and regenerates 12 energy. We're going to Shadow Step into a Garrote, full bleeds on him. We're going to Garrote into a Hemorrhage, into an Eviscerate. His second life did proc, but it is already too late. He uses a stun here. We use another Smoke Bomb. We will use Deadly Throw, and he will go down here. I'll be showing you guys one more example. I'm going to start off with a Sap. Now, whenever you guys do Sap a Mage, please always keep max distance. You do not have to stay close to him because there is a chance he can Trinket that and Frost Nova you. Now we are going to pop Premeditation into a Garrote, into a Hemorrhage, and use Eviscerate here. Now the one mistake I do here, guys, is that I do not use Shiv, and I go in for a Backstab instead. If your target does not have Crippling Poison, you do have to Shiv him, guys, in order to gain control. I am going to go for a Shadow Dance and a Closer Shadows. He gets a bit carried away here. My Burst. Shadow Step this. We will Vanish, guys, in order to gain control, but it is already too late. Try to go in for an Ambush here. He will finally Ice Block, but it is already too late, guys. We're going to Shadow Step, a Backstab, and it is already over. Next up, guys, we have DKs. It is extremely simple. In Cata, as a sub-rogue, we're going to start off with a Sap into a Premeditation. Now, when you are against a DK, guys, you mainly just want to apply full bleeds on him. It'll go through his armor. Rogue bleeds in Cata is beyond broken, so you always want to keep that up, especially versus plate classes. We're going to start off with a Garrote into an Evasion and to avoid any of the pet's damage and his physical damage. Go in for a Hemorrhage to increase bleed damage. And for those of you who do not know, your bleeds also increase your damage by 16% from your sub-talent tree. Now we're going to go in for a Rupture as well. We're just going to be spamming Hemorrhage here, guys. And we are going to pop Disarm so he does not heal. And we are not going to use Backstab. When we are fighting him, guys, we mainly want to use Hemorrhage because it does a ridiculous amount of damage. He is going to pop his Green Shell to take off the Crippling Poison and try to gain distance here. We are just going to Vanish that. He is going to pop Blood Tap, guys. Now, whenever he does pop Blood Tap, there is one of two things that you must do. Either have to disarm him again or go for a full Vanish. If he heals, it is all over, guys. So we are going to Vanish and Ambush here into a Disarm. Now he has absolutely nothing and no way of healing himself besides sacrificing the pet. He just sacrificed it. We are going to apply full bleeds again and pop Shadow Dance into Ambush, and we are going to keep on ambushing him, and it is already over, guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another way of opening on a DK. This one is a bit more safe, but I would still recommend the first way, but there are multiple ways that you can beat them. We're going to open up with a Shadow Step into a Cheap Shot, into an instant Shadow Dance. We are going to get pet stunned here. Want to Trinket that, guys. We are going to use Garrote into a Rupture. Spam Ambush. This is a quicker way of taking them down. And an instant Disarm for them not to heal. Go for a Recuperate. That is extremely important. He does pop Frost Fortitude and Blood Tap, but he still does have Disarm up, so we are not going to Vanish just yet. We are going to keep on pumping him with Hemorrhage. He will sacrifice his pet. Now that he has done that, we are just going to completely reset, guys. He still has bleeds on him. We are recuperating our HP and energy pool. He will go for a first aid, but it is completely useless. Since we still have a bleed tick on him, it is going to go away in a second. Now that that's happened, we are going to Shadow Step into an Ambush. Go for a full Kidney Shot here. Just keep on spamming Hemorrhage, one Backstab, and he will go down. Now the next example, guys, is going to be a much difficult one. It is going to be against a Blood DK. Now, when you are fighting Blood DK, guys, it is going to take quite some time to kill, especially if you are playing in an arena. You mainly just want to bleed them completely and not allow them to heal, but it is easier said than done. So we are going to come in, go in for a Sap, use Premeditation, go in for a Garrote into a Hemorrhage, pop Evasion in order not to get hit, pop a Rupture, keep on spamming Hemorrhage on him, guys, to build those combo points, and it does go through his armor. He will use Vampiric Blood. Now when he does that, guys, you really just want to get away since it can heal him a lot. We are going to come back in with a Cheap Shot, keeping our recuperation up and going for a Kidney Shot here. We are going for a Shadow Dance. We are going to pop 2 ambushes and we are instantly going to get away. We are popping smoke. Now you might be asking, why are you running away when he has such low HP? The reason why, guys, is because he can literally go from 20% HP up to 60% instantly, so you just want to get away from him as much as possible. He does pop Frost Fortitude. We are going to come back in since we do not have Cloaks of Shadows. Go for a Garrote. Just want to completely bleed him here, guys. A Hemorrhage, a Disarm so he does not heal, and a Rupture. Again, I know I keep repeating this, guys, but you mainly want to bleed them out. That is your main source of damage, not backstab, not hemorrhage, and not ambush. Now that that's happened, we want to gain a bit of distance here. We are going to pop smoke. We are just letting him bleed out. We are going to go for a full gouge. Now, for those of you who do not know, rogues can use gouge when their target is bled because of a talent we have in the sub-talent tree. Just want that gouge to fully end. Go for a full kidney shot. Spam backstab here, and he will go down. Now, the next example is going to be rogues. Now for rogues, guys, you are going to be quite quick. It is a completely different opener here. Now I am just going to come out here, just use a fan of knives. He is going to open with me on a cheap shot. We are not instantly going to trinket this because he did not use Shadow Dance yet. We are going to blind this. Now he trinketed that. We still have our trinket up. We are down 30% HP, but it's completely fine. We are going to vanish here, guys. Now there is one trick that most rogues do not know about, is that smoke bomb actually gets out your enemy rogue for some reason. Nobody knows why. It is a old Cataclysm trick when rogues fight each other. Whenever you do pop smoke and they come near your smoke, they instantly come out of stealth. So we are going to vanish here again, guys. Go for a cheap shot. Now that he does not have his trinket, we're going to go for a hemorrhage into a full kidney shot. Shadow Dance into 2 ambushes. He is going to vanish this, guys. We are going to get cheap shot the Ard here. He is going to go for a kidney. We are going to pop recuperation in order not to die. We have evasion up as well. We are going to just spam hemorrhage and he will go down here, guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another example. Now I do get lucky enough and find him from Fan of Knives. I will go for an instant blind. He will not trinket this. It is a good and bad thing, guys. If he does trinket this and he does vanish and cheap shot you can just vanish his cheap shot and cheap shot him again. But in this case, he does not do that, so we are just going to re-stealth, use premeditation, go for a cheap shot, into a hemorrhage, into an eviscerate, and instantly going for a shadow dance here, guys, into 1 ambush, into half a kidney shot, into another ambush. Now he is already down to 20% HP. He will use blind here, and now I wouldn't normally recommend trinketing blind ever, guys, but he is extremely low, so in this circumstance it is acceptable. I am going to trinket this quite late in order to trick him here. Go for a gouge, go for a hemorrhage to keep the bleed up. I am going to vanish here. He will come out eventually. We'll go for an ambush. Now Chi Death does save him due to his resilience, but it is already completely too late. He will go for a cheap shot, a kidney, and we are just going to use gouge, go for a full stun, and backstab. Now I'll be showing you guys one more example for rogues. In this example, I do get found. I will instantly trinket blind this. Now that he has stunned me, there is a stun DR on me, guys, for the next 12 seconds. So you guys do not want to stay out of combat for too long because you do not want that stun DR to come back. We are going to open up with a cheap shot into a hemorrhage. He will vanish cheap shot us, but it is on DR still, which is why I've told you guys before, you do not want to open too late. We are going to vanish this, guys, come in, shadow step, ambush. He is going to pop evasion. We are going to pop shadow dance. We are going to stun DR him for a second time, go for another ambush, and we are going to pop recuperation as well, guys. You mainly want to keep that up. And now we are just going to gain some distance here in order to recover. Wait for those stun DRs to come out. He's going to come near us. We are going to vanish, shadow step into a garrote, and use a rupture. We are going to get behind him and disarm him here, and it is pretty much over. You guys always want full bleeds on your target. It does a ridiculous amount of damage. He will try to gain a re-stealth here, and the only reason he's alive, guys, is because of recuperation. Recuperation does heal quite a lot, but it is already too late. Now, the next example is going to be Warriors. Warriors is the simplest class for rogues to beat. It is beyond simple, guys. So you're going to want to start off with a premeditation to gain 2 combo points. Go for a recuperation in order to regain energy while you're fighting him. Wait for your energy ticks to come back. Open up with a cheap shot into a hemorrhage, 1 backstab to a half kidney, shadow dance, shadow step, ambush in order to gain 30% more damage. Go for 2 ambushes here, guys. He will use fear on us. We are instantly going to vanish this in order for him not to stun us. Just waiting for our energy regeneration here. He's going to try and eat. We are going to use recuperation in order to regain our energy ticks. We're going to go in for a garrote, into a hemorrhage, into a rupture. Again, we want full bleeds. He does disarm us here. It is completely fine, guys. We're going to go in, disarm him, and just keep on spamming hemorrhage. He will use blade storm, but it is already too late, guys. I'll be showing you guys one more example for arms warriors. Again, open up with a premeditation into a recuperate in order to regain energy while we're fighting him. Go for a cheap shot into a hemorrhage, into one backstab, into an eviscerate, into shadow dance, and he will go down there, guys. The next example, guys, is actually going to be the hardest class that you are going to face as a sub-rogue. This class is a rogue's counter, which is feral druid, because it is extremely hard. You're a really experienced player here, I must say. I have been playing rogue for about 12 years, and this is one of the hardest classes to beat in cata as a sub-rogue. So we are going to come in, use premeditation here, guys, for a garrote into an instant evasion so he does not bash us. Now, unluckily for us, guys, bash does go through evasion, which is super unlucky here. We will have to trinket that, guys, because he can deal a lot of damage in bear. Go for a rupture. Just going to keep on spamming hemorrhage here in order to gain points to use recuperation. Now, please do keep an eye on your evasion timer, because the second evasion is done, I want you guys to gain distance and play the distance game like you would in vanilla WoW. Now that we've gained enough points for recuperation, we are just going to pop recuperate, and we are going to play the distance game and keep on bleeding them out in bear form. It is the only way, guys, especially if they are sitting in bear form and have high resilience. And you're going to keep on wanting to use shiv in order to gain control and slow them down. Now you want to regain energy, gain some distance here, but we have no stun DR on him, and he is already at 50% HP. We are just going to use shadow dance into a cheap shot, into a premeditation, into an eviscerate here, and we will go for a vanish. Now, the reason why we went for a vanish instantly, guys, is because he popped frenzied regeneration. Frenzied regeneration can heal a druid from literally 10% up to 80% HP, even with our reduced healing poison, which is completely ridiculous to me. Now we just want that frenzied regeneration to come off to reopen on him. Now that it has come off, we are going to come in, use premeditation into a cheap shot here, go in for a shiv and a rupture. Now we mainly just want to keep distance here, guys, and gain enough points for recuperation. Now he does go into cat form, which is a big mistake here, since he did not recover completely. They're going to vanish, shadow step into an ambush. He realized the devastating mistake and just keep on spamming hemorrhage, and it is already over, guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another example. We are going to come in, premeditation, into a garrote, into an instant evasion up. He does manage to get another bash in, which is crazy to me, since we already have evasion up. We have to trinket that, guys, because he will deal an insane amount of damage with mangle and lacerate. Now that evasion has completely gone, we just want to apply shiv and gain maximum distance here. Now we are going to blind him. If he does trinket that, guys, go to shadows and vanish. He decides not to, so we are just going to go ahead and go for a shadow dance into a full cheap shot, into a rupture, into a garrote, into one ambush, into a half kidney, another ambush here. Now, as you guys can see, he is not dying because of his frenzied regeneration. He will use nature's grasp on us, guys. We will just instantly use cloaks of shadows, vanish here in order to recover. One important thing to note here, if he does change form into human or cat, you guys have to instantly go in and just open on him. He tries to gain distance here. He thinks he's far away from us. We have recuperate up as well. We always need that up, guys, to regenerate our energy. He's going to be comfortable enough changing forms. We are instantly going to come back in, go for a shadow step into an ambush. We are going to go for another hemorrhage. Again, we just want to gain control. We're going to go in for a full gouge. Now we are going to go for a kidney shot, but he will trinket this, guys. And we are going to use shiv and gain distance here. He changes to cat form. We will go for a shiv again. We are just waiting for our energy to regenerate with recuperate. He will swap back into bear form. We're just going to go for a rupture, apply shiv again for that crippling poison. And you guys might be thinking, he's already low, why not just go in and finish him off? And I am being dead honest with you guys. He can literally kill us with 20% HP. You do not want to go near him. Now we just want to play the distance game. If he does charge like that, guys, you just want to use gouge. Keep on using shiv in order to gain control. We will shadow step here. This crippling poison does come off. We will go for a shadow dance here, guys. use Garrote into a full bleed, and he's going to charge us. We're just going to use cheap shot, gaining control, pop, recuperate. He's already been at 20% HP, but he's taken us down to 40% HP with that little amount of health. I'll be showing you guys one last example, again, because I want you guys to get comfortable with different scenarios. Now, I'll be showing you guys another situation when you are facing a feral druid. This feral druid, guys, has just popped Nature's Grasp before our fight, which is a big issue. Now, to counter this, guys, sadly, we do have to waste one Vanish. So we're going to come in, open with a cheap shot, and just keep on spamming Hemorrhage until Nature's Grasp is gone. Instantly vanish here, guys, in order to gain some distance. We just want that Nature's Grasp off. Now, why did we want that off, guys? It is because if we are rooted and we have a bleed on us, the druid has a major advantage against us. We are going to have to waste vanishes, Cloaks of Shadows just to get near him, which is not worth it at all. Now that it is gone, we are just going to come back in, Garrote, spam that Hemorrhage, instantly pop Evasion, use Shiv in order to slow him, go in for a Rupture here, guys. Again, we just want to gain control, manage to bash us and Evasion. I really do not know how this is happening, guys. It should not be the case. Now, one trick that you guys can do, it is quite a risky one, but it can literally end the game really fast, is sit the bash, get the druid comfortable to change the cat form. That's what he does now, but the second he does that, guys, you want to trinket Shadow Dance into a cheap shot, into an Eviscerate. He will trinket that, guys. He tries to pop Frenzied Regeneration. We are just instantly going to blind him, guys, and not damage him, because the more you damage him in Frenzied Regeneration, the more he will heal. So to counter that, we are just going to blind him. We have Cloaks of Shadows available. We are just going to sap here. Now, we just want to use Recuperation, wait for that HP regeneration, resap him for a second time, go for a Premeditation, open with a Garrote, into a Shiv, into a Rupture. Again, we just want to gain control here, guys. We're going to Shadow Step, Shiv him again. We're going to go for an Eviscerate and keep on spamming Hemorrhage, and he will go down, guys. The next example I'm going to be showing you guys is Hunters. Now, this Hunter is going to use Camouflage. He's going to use Flare on his location. Now, in this case, guys, we cannot afford to lose any cooldowns in order just to get to him. So we're just going to straight up walk into the Flare here. His Frost Trap will get us here. I do not have my trinket up in this situation, but if you did have your trinket, guys, you would want to trinket this. Now, he will send his pet on me. I will instantly Shadow Step, go in for a Shadow Dance, go for a cheap shot into an Eviscerate. He will trinket that. I will go for an ambush. He will stun me here. Again, I do not have my stun ready. We're instantly going to vanish here. Use Recuperate. You're going to have to be fast here, guys. Go for a full blind there. Disarm. Go for a Shift to apply poisons. Keep on spamming Hemorrhage on him. He will go for another Frost Trap. He is switching pet, guys. The reason why he's switching pet is to gain healing from his Spirit Wolf. You will see a lot of hunters doing this. Smoke Bomb in order to recover a bit. He's going to try and gain distance here. We're just going to use Shadow Step. Instantly use Shiv in order to gain control. Keep on spamming Hemorrhage. He will use Deterrence to switch his pets, which is absolutely fine. Now he will try to gain distance again here. Gouge. We are going to gouge the pet. And I just wanted to note again, guys, I did not have my trinket in this fight, so I was not able to trinket any stuns or any traps here. Into a dance, and he will go down here, guys. Now, I'll be showing you guys another example when I actually do have my trinket up, but it'll be a different scenario. So whenever you see a hunter with a monkey pet, guys, it is extremely dangerous. You guys want to sap this pet as soon as possible. The reason why is because they have an ability to stun you for 4 seconds. Now, you can counter this by opening on the hunter with Cloaks of Shadows, but in my opinion, it is a complete waste. Cloaks of Shadows can be used to remove a Frost Trap. It is not worth removing the monkey stun. Let's disarm the trap, sap the monkey, go for a Premeditation, cheap shot on the hunter, into a Rupture, into a Shadow Dance, into 2 ambushes here. He will try to gain distance. We're going to use Evasion, go for a half kidney shot here, keep on spamming that ambush with Dance, pop a Smoke Bomb in case he decides to disengage and gain distance. We will disarm him here as well. He is going to go for a Deterrence. The pet can still stun us, so we are just going to vanish here. I'm going to pop Recuperation in order to regenerate more energy. Deterrence is out. Premeditation into a Garrote, into a rupture in case he does decide to deterrence again. He will use scattered shot. We will trinket that shadow step into a backstab and he will go down, guys. The next example I'm going to be showing you guys is shadow priests. You mainly want to be patient here, guys. As you guys can see, his bubble is still up, but there is one good news in cata. Priest's bubble will link with their debuff, which is normally not the case in most expansions. Now, what do I mean by that? In most expansions, whenever a priest does pop his bubble, his debuff cooldown on it is much lower, but in cata, it is shared with his bubble timer. So you're just going to want to sap him when his bubble is almost off. Once it is off, guys, you're going to want to use premeditation into a garrote, into a hemorrhage for an eviscerate here, instant shadow dance. Now you guys want to keep an eye on the garrote timer. The second it is up, you want to pop Cloaks of Shadows and continue pumping with Shadow Dance. Vanish away. He does use PR on us here. We are just going to instantly trinket this, vanish, come back in, go for an ambush here, keep spamming that hemorrhage into an eviscerate, and it is pretty much all over, guys. He cannot recover after this. We're going to pop smoke. If he gains distance, he does not. You just want to sap that bubble off, use premeditation, go for a recuperate in order to regenerate energy while you attack. Go in for a garrote into an instant shadow dance here, into an ambush, into an eviscerate. The second garrote silence is up, guys. You want to pop Cloaks of Shadows. He realizes what we've done, but he is not going to use disperse. We are just going to keep on pumping him with ambush. We're going to kick the heal, go in for a kidney shot. Now he will trinket that, he will fear us. We are instantly going to trinket that, vanish, use recuperation to regain our energy. We are going to pop premeditation into a shadow step, into an ambush, go in for an eviscerate, and it is already over. Now the next example is going to be shamans. So you're going to want to start off with a sap. Sadly, his fire totem does get me out here. So what we're just going to do is go for a blind. If he decides to trinket this, we're just going to gouge him. He does not. We're going to gain a restealth, premeditation into a garrote, into a hemorrhage, rupture again versus high armor targets. We want to keep it full bleeds. Now we are going to go for a shadow dance into a sprint in order for him not to get away. Full kidney shot here. We are just going to pump him with ambush. He will trinket that, guys. We are going to trinket that stun and just keep on pumping him with hemorrhage. Now that he is quite low, he's trying to go in for a hex. We're just going to gouge that, wait for gouge to come out, go for a full rupture, vanish, premeditation, shadow step into a garrote. We just want that bleeds to take him out. Keep on spamming hemorrhage into a full kidney shot here. 2 backstabs, but as you guys can see, it does not do that much. You mainly just want to spam hemorrhage here. He will go for a big heal there. We're just going to use Cloaks of Shadows in order to get next to him. We are going to pop recuperate in order to regain energy. Pop a smoke bomb here. Just keep on spamming that hemorrhage in order to go through his armor. Again, we are just saving up in order to keep on bleeding him multiple times. Now we've applied rupture. We are just waiting and regenerating our energy for shadow dance. Now shadow dance has come up. We're just going to pop that, use garrote into an ambush, wait for the garrote timer to go off, go for a ambush again. We're going to kick that into a full kidney shot, into an ambush, and he will go down here, guys. Now I'll be showing you guys another example here versus a DPS shaman. Shadow step, meditation, into a garrote, evasion here so he does not hit us with his physical abilities. Keep on spamming that hemorrhage. He will use a rooting totem here. We are just going to vanish, come back in, vanish again here, use cheap shot in order to gain control. Shadow dance, keep on pumping him with ambush, go for a disarm so he does not hit us physically, go for a half kidney shot here. He will trinket that. He's trying to go for a lava blast. We will just kick that, keep on spamming hemorrhage, shadow step to get to him into an eviscerate, and he will go down. For the final example, guys, it is going to be Retribution Paladins. Now for Retribution Paladins, it is an extremely easy class to beat. What you want to do is make him use bubble within the opener. Once you've done that, it is pretty much GG. Now you want to sap him in order to gain control. Go for a premeditation, into a garrote, into a hemorrhage, into a rupture. Now that you've done that, you want to go in for a shadow dance, into shadow step, into an ambush. Wait for that garrote silence to come off. Go for a full kidney. Decide not to trinket this. We are just going to keep on pumping him with damage. Now he does use reptance, guys. If he does reptance you, please by all means do not trinket this at all, guys. It is bait. He is going to heal. It is absolutely fine. You mainly want to save your trinket for Hodge. Now that it has come off, we're just going to keep on spamming that hemorrhage on him. We're going to go for a disarm, go for a recuperate. He's going to try to heal here, guys. We're just going to blind that, vanish here instantly. Wait for the DR to come off, go for a shadow step into a garrote. Keep on spamming hemorrhage here in order to gain combo points. And you guys do not have to worry, we still have recuperate up. And he will go down here, guys. I'll be showing you guys another example. You're going to want to open up with a garrote, hemorrhage, as always guys. He will gain distance here. It is absolutely fine. We just want those bleeds on him. Go in for a shiv, go in for a shadow dance into an ambush, go in for a full kidney shot. He will bubble here guys. Now that he has done that, we can just get away. He will use hodge, so we can now use our trinket. We vanish, use cloak of shadows. We are just recuperating, regaining our energy. We're waiting for that bubble to come off. Instantly go for a garrote into a rupture into a bleed. We mainly just want to keep up those bleeds, keep on spamming hemorrhage, and it is pretty much over guys, and it is that simple. We're going to come back in, shadow step into a full kidney shot. He does have his pet up with him. Now that is completely fine guys. We're going to go for a kick that heal, and it is all over. I'll be showing you guys one final example before we end the video. Again, we are going to want to sap him in order to gain control. Now I'll be showing you guys another way to beat them. Sap your target, go in for a premeditation, use recuperate in order to regain energy during combat. Go for a rupture into an evasion, go for a hemorrhage into a rupture here, shadow step into a shadow dance. Now sadly he does use reptance while we are in shadow dance. Now no matter what guys, even if you do have shadow dance up, please do not trinket reptance. If you trinket reptance, you are dead. Now he is just waiting to see if we will trinket this. We are not. He is going to use hodge. We will trinket that. We will go for a kidney shot here. He will trinket that as well. We are just going to keep on spamming that hemorrhage in order to gain combo points for recuperate. We're just going to blind that. He can either bubble this, which he is not going to do. So we're going to open up with a garrote. He will bubble this guys. We are just going to instantly vanish, and it is pretty much all over. If you guys want to play this a bit more safe, you can just wait for shadow dance, but I am just going to open up on him for the sake of the video. We're going to sap him here, go for a full recuperate, going to open up again with a garrote into a hemorrhage, into a rupture. Just keep on spamming that hemorrhage guys, gain a bit of distance here, let him bleed out, it's absolutely fine. Go for a gouge, go for a full kidney shot. We're going to go for ambushes. Now as you guys can see, ambush does not do anything versus them, which is why I keep on saying spam hemorrhage. We will go for a big heal with word of glory. We're just going to shadow step back in with a shadow dance, go in for a half cheap shot, use recuperate again. You guys want to recuperate up at all times. He will go for a reptance again, but it is completely fine. He will go for a hodge. Now we are in trouble with hodge guys, but we have recuperate up on us, and he does not have that much mana and damage ready. We're just going to go for a full disarm here, keep on spamming that hemorrhage, go for a rupture. Again, just keep on spamming hemorrhage, shadow step to get to him, and it is pretty much all over. And thank you guys for watching that video. I hope this did help in any way, shape or form with your performance for PvP as a rogue. If it did, please do leave a like. It does help out the channel a lot. And I also do have a Discord. If you have any PvP questions, do feel free to stop by and ask questions. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.